Yeah, I'm just going to talk about some of the upcoming research we've got. We're obviously way behind the US in terms of that, as it's just been, the nematode's just been detected here. So Queensland DAF has a long history of root knot nematode research. We've had previous projects in sweet potatoes. We're just wrapping up a big sweet potato project now. Potatoes, ginger, and various other vegetable industries. We maintain pure populations of the most important root knot species on tomato plants in the glasshouse, so that we can easily obtain large amounts of inoculum for experimental work. These populations have recently been regenerated from single egg masses just to ensure their purity. And we've retested those populations once they've re-established, just to check that they are the species that we think they are. And we've now added Guava root knot nematode to that set of species that we maintain in the glasshouse for research. So in terms of upcoming research, we're finalising root knot research proposals for a few industries, including ginger and sweet potato, and we'll potentially be doing work across a range of vegetable industries. So priority and potential research areas we'll be looking at include obviously continued surveillance and detection, which is important to keep track of the distribution. We'll be pushing on-farm biosecurity awareness, which obviously ties in with the first one. Exclusion's obviously the best option for growers. They don't want this pest. We're looking at improved diagnostics. We've got a new nematologist on board here at Queensland DAF, Dylan, who I don't have a picture of on this slide because he is new, sorry Dylan. And he's trying to develop a good workflow for the suite of root knot species that we have here using molecular diagnostics. As Johan said, we're moving on from morphological ID now, which is not far from ideal. So hopefully we can get a new molecular diagnostic workflow for the species that we deal with, including Guava root knot. We'll be looking at the efficacy of disinfestation agents. There's not a lot of good information out there, and that's obviously important for on-farm biosecurity. We'll be continuing our screening work, which we've been doing for many years on crop resistance and the resistance of rotation crops. The susceptibility of some local crops and cultivars is unknown, and there's mixed reports in the literature about some of our important crops, such as papaya. So it'd be good to know the true picture there for Guava root knot nematode. And obviously resistant rotation crops are an essential management tool for growers. We can possibly look at the efficacy of some nematicides in the glasshouse. We may be able to get some initial information on their efficacy on Guava root knot relative to the other root knot species, although as Johan's just said, it seems that the efficacy is reasonably similar as for the other species, although there's some reports in the literature that for some products they might be less effective against Guava root knot, but that's something we can test. And then obviously eventually we'll probably move on to some field trials of nematicides, crops and cultural management practices, but for that to happen we obviously need a suitable infested field site, which may happen in the future. It's not something that we have available now. We also have an upcoming international project through ACR, which will link with a Eufresco project aiming to prevent the spread of the rice root knot nematode, Meloidogyne graminicola. The aim of this is to develop early detection and identification for exotic root knot nematode species threatening the viability of Australasia's plant-based agriculture, and link to a global network to develop best practices. So we'll be working with partners in Indonesia, Laos, PDR, Vietnam and the Philippines to improve diagnostic capabilities in the region and to characterise the diversity and distribution of root knot species. So that will include Guava root knot, which is obviously present in some of those countries, get a better handle on where it is. And we'll have access to global resources to help with biosecurity awareness and management strategies for the region. So that's about it for us in terms of upcoming research. We're just sort of in between projects at the moment. We're just wrapping up a big sweet potato project. So yeah, we're just looking to start some new research projects, and some of those will be focusing on Guava root knot.
I'm Mike Hodda, I'm from CSIRO. We work primarily in determining the detail of plant parasitic nematodes and other nematodes. We've just finished a project on cyst nematodes, And the result of that basically was we don't have in Australia what we thought we had. We have something different. Now, we think that's highly relevant probably to the root knot situation in finding out exactly what we have here. So I just wanted to say very quickly that we have a couple of projects which are pretty close to starting with horticulture innovation. The first one is to get a final resolution on the race species of root knot nematodes and what the virulence mechanism of those is. This project hasn't started yet, but we're starting on it very shortly. And the other one is to get a historical picture, either by molecular means or by going back to those perennial patterns of the root knots nematodes. But we'll be using AI and a whole lot of very advanced techniques, which we think will make that more accurate, faster, easier to do. So thanks very much, Johan, for saying how important working out what we have, exactly what we have when it got here is. In a couple of years, hopefully, we will be able to say that for the Australian situation with regard to root knot. I just wanted to say we're working on it, but we're not there yet. We're just starting. Thanks.
I know it's a lot of work.